What is up, guys? It's Tom here and welcome to a brand new football talk video. And in this video we will talk about the awesome Champions League semi-final draw and also the Europa League semi-final, and I will make my predictions, but let me know what is your prediction in the comments below. And of course, if you enjoy these types of videos, smash the like button. So I'm really excited because finally Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid will not play the final. I don't like to see the same finals over and over again, and the Real Madrid Atletico Madrid final was played in the last two finals of the last 3 years were this fixture, but this time they meet in the semi-final, and that is going to be a titanic cracking battle. And I think Atletico Madrid now have a better chance of beating Real Madrid. But of course, you know, Real Madrid on their day, they can win against any team, and even when they didn't play at their best, they still beat Bayern Munich home and away, a really strong team. You could argue that Bayern Munich is a stronger team than Atletico Madrid, and they still beat them home and away, even though Real Madrid didn't play well, and you could argue the referee helped them a little bit. But you know, Atletico Madrid are really solid defensively, and they have Antoine Griezmann, but they have some injury concerns, so that will worry Diego Simeone. But in my opinion, at the moment Diego Simeone is a better and more experienced manager than Zinedine Zidane, but Real Madrid have the better players, so it evens itself out. So it's a very hard to guess which team will win, and the Atletico Madrid players and the Atletico Madrid fans wanted to avoid Real Madrid in the final. They said that they would rather play Real Madrid in the semi-final because they just couldn't take the heartbreak of losing to Real Madrid for the third time in a row. Maybe they have a better chance of knocking Real Madrid out over 2 legs, because Real Madrid always struggle away at the Vicente Calderon Stadium, the Atletico Madrid Stadium. So I think they have a chance. My prediction though is that Real Madrid will go through, because ultimately Ronaldo and Bale, who is back from his injury, and Benzema will have just too much for Atletico Madrid. And also Real Madrid have you know, Morata and James Rodriguez, Asensio, Lucas Vazquez, awesome players on the bench who can come on and make a difference. And Atletico Madrid, as I already said, they have some defensive problems. And the other semi-final, Juventus Monaco, amazing semi-final, one of the best attacks in Europe this season against arguably the best defense in Europe. And when Juventus reached the Champions League final 2 years ago and they lost to Barcelona 3-1, they weren't ready to win the Champions League. That was a team who were growing and getting better and better, but they were not on the level of the really top teams like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. But this year they are a top team, and Allegri, who is you know, one of the best managers in the world at the moment, found a formation, the 4-2-3-1 formation, which really works pretty well in Europe. And they have some very experienced players like Gianluigi Buffon, who never won the Champions League in his career. He won World Cups, he won Euros, he won multiple Serie A titles and Italian Cups. So he won everything apart from the Champions League. So this could be, you know, the missing piece from his already legendary career. I think Gianluigi Buffon will go down as one of the best goalkeepers who ever played football, one of the top 5 best goalkeepers of all time. So we are pretty lucky to see him play. And to be honest, when I started watching football like 18-19 years ago, Buffon was already an awesome player. He was already Italy's #1, and he's still going strong when he's like, what, 38, 39 years old. So this time they have all the tools to win. They have Higuain, a really seasoned striker, very experienced, but they have Paulo Dybala, Cuadrado, pace to run past Higuain, and also, you know, they have one of the best defenses in the world. I mean, a team who can keep 2 clean sheets against Messi, Suarez and Neymar. An incredible defensive team, and Juventus have some of the best defenders in the world, like Chiellini, Bonucci, Barzagli, Dani Alves, and also they have very good defensive midfielders, Sami Khedira and Pjanic, who can also play, who can pass the ball brilliantly. And then they have, you know, backup players like Mandzukic. To be honest, he starts most of the time. So yeah, Juventus, I think they are ready to win the Champions League. But Monaco, if there is one team who can score against this defense, it's Monaco, because Monaco knocked out, you know, incredible teams along the way, like Tottenham. They knocked out Tottenham in the group stage. They knocked out Manchester City. They knocked out recently Borussia Dortmund. So and Monaco are one of the, I think, top 3 top scorers in Europe throughout the whole season, if you take all the competitions into account. And they have, you know, very powerful players like Mbappe, Lamar, who can, you know, against a defense who is not the fastest, and Juventus defense is not the fastest. If there is one team who can cause them problems, it's Monaco, because they have some really fast electric players. And what Monaco's advantage is that nobody expects them to do anything in the Champions League. Nobody expected them to knock out Man City, and they did. They played with incredible freedom. They played with incredible style, bravery, and they thought, this is a great adventure. Let's just do our best and see what happens. And if we lose, if we get knocked out, nobody will, you know, really batter us in the media or in terms of the fans, because this is a young team. The Monaco team is a young team. They are still in development. So for them to reach the Champions League semi-finals is a monumental achievement. I mean, look at their team, look at the transfer budget, they spend some money, but nowhere near the amount of Manchester City, for example, nowhere near the amount of even Borussia Dortmund. And they are here in the semi-finals, and they deserve to be here. So I'm actually really excited to see one of the best attacks against one of the best defenses in the world right now, or at least in Europe. So that will be a fascinating battle. And my guess is that Juventus will have just too much for Monaco. But you know, I didn't expect Monaco to knock out Man City, I didn't expect Monaco to knock out Dortmund, and they proved everybody wrong. They beat Dortmund home and away, and yes, Dortmund were really unlucky that the bomb attack happened at the worst possible time for them, just before the Monaco game, one day before that. Well, it was on the day of the game, but the game got postponed. And who knows what would have happened if that bomb threat didn't happen to the Dortmund team. I'm sure it messed up their heads and they couldn't really give their 100%. They still tried their best, but who knows, Monaco, you know, took full advantage, they got through, and they deserve to be here. So it's going to be fascinating. And let's talk about you know, Real Madrid as well, because Real Madrid are not playing their best football at the moment. They have some injury problems. You know, Gareth Bale is in and out of the Real Madrid team, but they still have knocked out Bayern Munich. They are still here, and when Ronaldo is on the goal scoring form like he is, then anything can happen. I mean, Real Madrid will always have a chance of winning a game when Ronaldo is in this kind of form. I mean, he was almost largely anonymous against Bayern Munich up until his first goal, and he goes and scores a hat-trick. Incredible. Yeah, I know one of his goals was offside, but yeah, he still was amazing finishing wise. And now Ronaldo has 100 goals in the Champions League. That's a mind-blowing number. And now, you know, I think I want to see a Real Madrid-Juventus final, because that will also be one of the best attacks in the world against one of the best defenses. But you could see against Barcelona that Juventus can shut out any team if they really want to. So it will be fascinating. And now let's switch our attention to the Europa League draw. And Manchester United got Celta Vigo, I think the strongest team left in the competition. You could argue that Lyon is also a very strong team. They will play Ajax in the other semi-final. I expect Manchester United and Lyon to play the final. But if there is one team who can beat Man United over 2 legs in this Europa League, it's Celta Vigo. And I feel a little bit of injustice in terms of when Liverpool were in the Europa League, we had to go through, you know, Manchester United, an amazing Dortmund team who played even better than this season they are playing, and Villarreal, who were, I think, 3rd or 4th in the Spanish league at that time. So Liverpool had a lot, and we had Sevilla in the final. So Man United, Dortmund, Villarreal and Sevilla, these were the 4 teams that Liverpool had to beat to win the Europa League. In the end we fell on the last hurdle, and Real Madrid have to beat the likes of Rostov, you know, Saint Etienne, Anderlecht. No disrespect, but they are not on the level of Man United, not on the level of Dortmund, not on the level of Villarreal. So yeah, that's my only complaint, that Man United will have an easier route. And if Man United don't win the Europa League, Mourinho will have a lot of pressure on him, because I don't think Man United will finish in the top 4. They have Arsenal, Tottenham, Manchester City, Burnley, Southampton away from home. 5 really tough games. But you know, Celta Vigo are doing amazingly both in the league and especially in Europe, and Ajax did so well to knock out Schalke in extra time, and Lyon as well knocking out Besiktas in extra time. And Lyon were quite lucky because Besiktas were leading 1-0 for most of the game in Lyon, but they made 2 absolutely horrendous defensive mistakes in the first leg, and that cost them in the end. So yeah, it's going to be fascinating. I'm really excited to watch these semi-finals when the trophy is just you know, just a step ahead. All the teams are going extra hard, so it's going to be fascinating. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. See you later. Goodbye.